And welcome back to Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, Jack Stevens Field here in Annapolis, as the Navy midshipmen is set for the Terriers of Boston University here today. Pete Medhurst and Joe Miller with you. Great to have you with us. And Joe, as we mentioned in the open for the mids, very simple. Grayson Terrain, Ryan Wade, final game here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. They've got to get going here if the midshipmen have a chance to knock off 10-4 BU.
Yeah, a lot going on, about an hour and 41-minute rain delay, lightning delay, but it looks like the weather will hold off for the rest of the way, so we should be good to go. And senior day here in Annapolis as well, in the mids, trying to fight their way into the Patriot League tournament, 5-7 overall, 3-4 in the Patriot League. Let's lay out the scenarios right now to get it off the table right now. Navy is in with a win and a Bucknell or Holy Cross loss. Bucknell is hosting Colgate. Lehigh is at Holy Cross. They're also in with a loss today and also a Bucknell loss at home to Colgate.
Other than that, it's pretty simple.
Well, the only thing we know for sure coming into the final match day of the Patriot League lacrosse season is Colgate and Lafayette will not be participating in the postseason tournament. Everything else coming into the last weekend is up for grabs.
Coming up here, opening face-off, Sean Chrisman, sophomore to Kimberton, Pennsylvania, going to go up against Navy's freshman Nick Berry out of Islip, New York. He's had a solid season for the mids.
Boston, as far as their tournament is concerned, number 3 is locked in. That's the worst they can do. The third place is the worst they can be at. They have a shot at the number 1 seed. Of course, that would take Loyola losing to Lafayette on the road, which would be a big upset. They can get the number 2 seed with a win, a Loyola win, and a Lehigh loss. So still a lot on the line for BU tonight.
Terriers win it off the wing. Good ground ball by Reese Eddy to get us going here in Annapolis. Appreciate your patience. Mother Nature bringing a monsoon through Annapolis. We were scheduled for a 4 o'clock face-off. It's riding hard here. Long pass, and they cause a turnover. Well, Jack Sweeney with a great ride on Michael Doxey.
Right off the start, clearing issues, and it's one of the statistical categories this season that Boston has struggled in the clearing game. They're one of the worst in the Patriot League and in the country. We see that pop up seconds into this contest, their first opportunity, and they fail to clear. They're number 65 in the country in clearing percentage. With all that said, Pete, Syracuse struggled to clear last week, and it didn't hurt them in the game. Orange were 15 of 21 clearing against the mids last week, but still won the game going away. So can Navy convert these failed clears into goals tonight against BU?
Ryan Wade out on the wing for the mids. Switch from left to right hand. Goes behind the net, Christian Daniel. Back to Wade. Wade wanted to go inside here. Draws a double. Back to the point for Grayson Terrain off the bounce. Near side, Delira has been promoted to the top midfield. Back to Terrain. 19 on the shot clock for Navy. Terrain in front. Daniel shot save. Joe McSorley with a terrific save right there to rob Christian Daniel on the crease. Mids regain. Wade fires again. Ball comes loose off the rebound. And a ground ball pickup there by McSorley, and BU starts to clear again.
McSorley, who had 20 saves in their last game, a victory over Holy Cross, starts this game off with 2 big saves here early on. And that second one, didn't know where the rebound was, but his defense helped him out and found the loose ball as it was sitting about a yard away from the goal line.
So the Terriers with the settled possession. Interesting, you can see on the turf to the right of the Navy goal and about 10 yards away, a lot of those rubber pellets. A rare area where that turf doesn't seem to be necessarily sound. Speed dodge right alleyway. Good slide by Evans to cut it off for the mids. Gray behind the goal. The sophomore up front to Burr. Closed out on nicely by Durden. Gray looking to attack Franchik from behind the goal. Nick almost knocked the stick out of his hand. Good job by Gray to get that bottom hand down to keep it. He'll fire the left-handed shot. That goes over the crossbar with 19 on the shot clock.
Chris Gray James Burr, we talked about in the opening, the top duo in the country as far as points are concerned in all of college lacrosse.
Try to get the pass in front.
Somehow Timmy Lay did not step in the crease there. Good job by him.
And they force it inside. Shot here. Kern with a save. Rebound caught right in front. And a good job there by Kern to keep Cates from taking the shot.
I just got to imagine that Cates didn't get it right away because he had one-on-one with Kern.
In front. Kern, again, steps to the top of the crease and stops Timmy Lay.
Now, Kern has been on fire the last 3 weeks, piling up the save total for the Mids. And 3 really nice plays by him, 2 saves in the scorebook, but he also was able to shut down Cates there when he's one-on-one against him, and Cates didn't elect to take the shot.
So both Kern and McSorley with big saves early to keep it a scoreless game with 11:17 to go here in this first half. Should say first quarter, rather. Just underway. Again, hour and 40-minute rain delay. Cole dodging from X, plays it back up top. Foster. Augie Fratt comes in with a left-handed shot. McSorley turns that aside. Ground ball by Ellerton. Trying to get the clear started and does for BU. Behind the goal, Burr comes to wrap around, shoots and scores. James Burr, the senior out of Hamilton, Massachusetts, with his 183rd career point. His 144th goal puts BU on top, 1-0 at the 10:41 mark.
47th goal this season, number 7 in the country coming in goals per game. And once again, left open behind the crease and able to turn with impunity there and beat Kern up high. You got to get a body on a guy that is closing in on 50 goals. And they do not, and Burr makes them pay. It's 1-0 BU. Burr, 11 goals combined in the last 2 games. He's got 5 straight games with at least 3 goals.
Barry wins the faceoff, gets it away to Mandish. The long pole away to Cole, shoots and scores. Cole puts it home with a low-to-low shot. We're tied at 1 at the 10:32 mark.
Well, good answer by the Mids. Chrisman on the season, pretty good facing off percentage-wise. The BU with a slight advantage when you looked at the numbers coming in. But a face-off win by Nick Barry and a nice dish to Cole on the wing. We haven't seen Nick take too many shots from this far out. He places it perfectly down and away from McSorley. And the Mids answer right back to tie this game at 1.
18th goal of the year for Nick. Jacob Mandish, the lone pole with his 2nd assist. Chrisman and Barry right in the middle of the in the middle of the field here at Navy. And Barry wins the clamp, gets the face-off for the 2nd time, bounces it to Mandish, who finds Brad Alexander for the Mids. And at the 10:22 mark, Navy moving right to left. Grayson Terrain, back up top for Wade. Wade, down the right alleyway, backside to Terrain, makes the catch off the ground. Here's DeLira, winds and fires. McSorley with another save. Outlet to Blake Phillips. They'll play it back up top for Phillips. And now Gray. Mids don't switch in time. His shot goes wide. Step past one defender, and the 2nd defender didn't go with him. The Gray's shot went wide. 9:40 to go, and the Terriers with the ball. 57 on the shot clock.
Gray doesn't have the shooting percentage of a guy that has as many points and goals as he does. I think that's one element of the game that actually could improve for him, which would take him to another level.
As you mentioned, just a sophomore, and if it wasn't, as you mentioned, Joe, in the open, if it wasn't for the enormous numbers of Pat Spencer, the country would be talking about the numbers of Chris Gray. He comes in diving into the crease, and it's going to be a crease violation.
Well, he was a big-time recruit for Boston University. He was a guy that when you started last season as a freshman, you expected him. He was the odds-on favorite to be the Patriot League Rookie of the Year, which he was. He came in with quite the pedigree. He was arguably probably the biggest recruit in Boston University history. And he has lived up to it. But he will shoot a lot from some weird angles, to some different angles. He'll test you as a goalie.
Delira moves it right side for Terrain. Inside, Daniel shoots and scores. 10 yards right in front. And Christian Daniel makes it 2-1 Navy.
Well, Christian Daniel's been up and down this second half of the season. He's had some good games, has some games where he really hasn't been able to get going. Had a good game against Army, but you sandwich that in between the games against Syracuse and Holy Cross, and he struggled in those games. He steps up here. I think this is the right kind of matchup for Christian Daniel. This BU defense has suffered some losses there. I think he could have a big night tonight for the Mids.
Grayson Terrain with another point. Gets him to 129. One more to tie Rich Wayman for 17th all-time on the Navy list. Violation on Barry. Gives it to BU. You mentioned Gray shooting percentage, only at 29%, 51% overall on goal.
One of the numbers to watch tonight, a couple different areas. We talked about the issues that Boston's had on clears this season, and turnovers can be a big factor in this game. Navy 51st in the country at 17.7 per game. Boston University at 18.9.
Gray feeding it in front. And Brendan Homeyer puts it home. Senior out of Huntington, New York, ties the game at 2 with 8:12 to go in the first quarter.
Well, Gray, top 10 in assist as well. Nice pass on the move to Homeyer, who finishes it off wide open on the wing. I mean, he's going to bury that all night long. You have to be cognizant of Gray's not only scoring potential, but his ability to feed the ball. The Navy caught napping that time, and we're tied at 2.
54th assist of the year for Chris Gray.
Yeah, 3.79 a game. That's number 4 in the country.
Barry scoops it out to the right, and Jeff Durden has the ground ball for Navy.
Interesting number to watch for Gray tonight. He's got 95 points. The record for Patriot League single season is 97 by Peter Baum.
Wade with the long-range crank shot, backed up by the Mids.
Gray 2 points away from tying that record. So we could see some history tonight. Best single season point performance in Patriot League lacrosse history.
Delira near side plays it back up top for Terrain. Now to Wade. Wade 15 yards to Terrain. Now shot long range, that time by Daniel. Misses wide. 43 on the shot clock for the Mids. 2 all tie with 7.5 to go in the first quarter. Terrain matched with a shorty. Gets rid of him with a beautiful dodge. The left-handed shot goes wide. Inside, it's Terrain again from 12, and McSorley makes the save just below the knees. McSorley already with 5 saves in this first quarter.
Came in number 13 in the country in save percentage. Number 20 in goals against, and here's the clearing game. This will be key for Boston all long tonight.
Video's pass brought in by Homeyer. Homeyer, right alleyway. Forced back out. Settle it down here for the Terriers.
They got that over with 1 second to spare. Ball has to be across midfield at the 60-second mark, and Homeyer is able to bring it in there.
Hilburn trying to throw it across the crease. Ball gets deflected. Ground ball far side. And that should be a push, and it is. Timmy Griffin gets pushed from behind by Chris Gray. They make the call. Griffin trying to bull his way through Gray and does so right there.
Well, Hilburn kind of threw that to a spot where he thought Gray was going to be, but Gray hadn't got there yet. Eventually does turn into a turnover for BU.
Pass inside. Cole moves past 1 minute. Oh, what a save by McSorley on the high-to-high shot.
Well, you love the ball movement by the mids, as good as it's been here recently, but a very nice save again by McSorley.
Long pull shot. Kern gets a piece of that offering by Levesque.
Levesque, who scored last week for BU, fancies himself as a goal scorer. Not a bad opportunity, but Ryan Kern reaching back to make another save. Both goalies off to hot starts here. McSorley with 6 saves, Kern with 3 saves, and it's been a pretty open game as we kind of thought it would be.
Fast moving first quarter here in Annapolis, already down to 5.5 minutes to go. Haven't had a ton of whistles in this game. Daniel started left, comes right. Not sure what that was. It's going to be considered a shot. It'll stay with Cole. Thought his stick got hit as he tried to wrap it around from behind. 40 on the shot clock.
Well, it's early, but I really like that matchup for Daniel with Ellerton, who's been on him primarily. Not a big physical guy, and I think that will help Christian, because I think sometimes big guys can wear down on him as the game progresses.
Wade trying to beat the short stick. Second shorty slides to him. BU's got a man down. Inside Cole. He got mugged. Daniels got it on the crease, and he scores. Josh Williamson went down for BU. He was laying on the ground, and as the mids went to attack there, Cole gets hog-tied from behind here. Watch the stick up high. Surprised that didn't draw a flag. He had the presence of mind to find Daniel laying on the ground, and he puts it home for a 3-2 Navy lead. Timeout on the field. 4:49 to go here in the first quarter. Good one developing here at Annapolis. Navy with its season on the line leads BU 3-2 on Stadium. 4:49 to go in the first quarter. Kristen Daniel getting the mids a 3-2 lead. And Joe, this is a good sign for the mids, because one of the reasons why that offense has tailed off a little bit is all 3 of Terrain, Daniel, and Ryan Wade have not been able to get on the same page here of late. Getting Christian Daniel off to a good start. Positive sign here for Navy.
Yeah, and I think this is an opportunity when you looked at this game coming in. Boston likes to run. They like to get up and down. I think that plays into some of Navy's strengths, and I think you've seen the ability on offense to manipulate Boston to a degree to get some open looks here that we haven't seen a ton of. Also, just a tremendous individual effort by Nick Cole to set up Christian Daniel on that last goal.
Good win on the faceoff by Chrisman for the ground ball. BU in the month of April averaging 42 ground balls a game. Gray settling things down here in the midfield area.
So BU, when you look at their team numbers, scoring offense, 12.79 goals per game. That's number 18 in the country, number 18. The defensive scoring this season at 10 goals per game. Top 20 in both categories. It's usually a good sign that you're having a good year.
Hilburn down the left alleyway, defended by the short stick of Griffin. They work it back right side now for Cates. Now to Holmeyer. Just below goal line now. Tracked by Alexander. On the crease, shot, save, Kern. Low to low effort by Hilburn. Ball comes loose outside the crease though. Franchuk is there for Navy. Needs help. Kern, his goalie, comes back to help him out.
Hilburn got crushed right along the crease.
A long pass eludes Durden's stick. The mids turn it back over.
Yeah, Durden's been playing with an injury. I just don't think he has full range of that stick right now.
Not with that shoulder, that's for sure.
He could not pull that in. But Hilburn, he got crushed on the crease. But if he sticks there a little bit longer, he bailed out a little bit early, I think he scores the goal. But he saw the hit coming, shied away from it a little bit, and still got hit.
Lay behind the goal working against Terrain. Now Gray against McKenna. On the run above goal line. Stick up looking for a pass. He finds Berg. Shoots it over top of the crossbar. 37 on the shot clock for BU. 2:45 remaining first quarter. 3-2 Navy on top. Gray behind the goal. Go right back to him.
Mid's really collapsing that defense. You have 5 guys, if you count Kern, within 2 yards of the crease.
Hilburn shot blocked in front, never got through, hit terrain. Hilburn trying to draw a loose ball push, doesn't get that, but Burr comes over to get the ground ball. 15-yard shot, or pass rather, to Gray beside the crease. In front, shot, and Kern with a tremendous save as the shot clock was expiring that time against Burr.
I think Burr rushed that shot because he thought he was going to hear the horn sound on the shot clock violation, but Kern makes the save and the Mids turn it over on the clear.
Alexander doesn't see it into his stick. Burr, quick restart. Gray. Oh, Kern from his knees. Wow. We are seeing some tremendous goalie play in this first quarter. Down to 1:38 to go. 3-2 Navy. Both teams with McSorley and Kern with 6 saves. Daniel up top for Wade. Foster back to Wade. He'll back it up now. Foster against the short stick. DeLira. Grayson Terrain had a long defensive shift there, so they play for him here. Back up top, Foster. Started right, comes left. DeLira doesn't see it into his stick. He was trying to step into the shot before he had the ball in his cross. 25 on the shot clock. Cole. Back up top for Daniel now. Finds DeLira, gets the shot away, and McSorley with an easy save with 44 seconds to go. Shots are now 14-12 Navy, Joe, in this first quarter. To your point in the pregame about these teams will run.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because Navy has outshot Boston in every previous meeting between these two teams.
We get a whistle here and a timeout called by BU with 21.5 to go in the quarter, and Navy with a 3-2 lead. Keep it right here for the last 21.5 seconds. A reminder that the Naval Academy Business Services Division is the official retailer for the Brigade of Midshipmen. All profits earned Fun Club Sports, extracurricular activities like the Drum and Bugle Corps and other quality of life events critical in developing midshipmen into today's future leaders. A reminder, for more live games, replays of classic games, and daily originally studio programming, visit watchstadium.com or search Stadium in your local channel guide. So many ways you can take in stadium programming.
6th meeting all-time between these two teams. Navy leads the all-time series 3-2. Last 3 games have been decided by a total of 4 goals. As I mentioned, Navy has outshot Boston University in all the previous 5 games between these two teams.
21.5 to go here. BU will have the ball after the timeout. A reminder, you can stay connected with Stadium on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more news, highlights, and exclusive content. 3-2 here.
You know, interesting timeout. You usually don't see coaches take timeouts like you would see at an end of quarter or half situation, maybe in basketball or other sports, but interesting timeout to take here. You got 2 to use. Take a time here with 21 seconds to set something up, I would imagine, here for Boston University.
They'll start on the far side wing in the hands of Chris Gray. One of the nation's most dangerous men with the ball in his stick. Wheel around, ball drop. Brad Alexander's got it for Navy as Laviano dropped it. Mids have a chance, down to 6 seconds. Alexander, he'll try an 18-yarder. Oh, it got deflected in front of McSorley. Got it off the bounce, lost it behind him, and the horn sounds. Entertaining first half here in Annapolis. We'll go to the second quarter with Navy on top by a score of 3-2. Back with more on Stadium. Join us next Tuesday, April 30th, Patriot League Men's Lacrosse quarterfinal action right here on Stadium. Stadium, welcome to the game. The only question is, where will those games be? That still up for grabs here on the final regular season night of the Patriot League men's schedule. Some big numbers in the first quarter, Joe, that's for sure.
Mids out shooting Boston University 15-12. Ground ball's 9-8 in favor of BU. Face-offs even in that first quarter. BU wins the first face-off of the second quarter. They've now won 4 of 7. Clears, BU 6 of 7, Navy 6 of 8. Ryan Kern 6 saves, Joe McSorley 8 saves. Turnovers in the first quarter, BU with 4. I mentioned coming in, they're number 61 in the country, actually worse than Navy in turnovers.
Homeyer turned aside by Kern, and then he's in the crease.
BU has got some really high percentage looks today, and Ryan Kern has probably already made about 4 fantastic, like A-grade saves in this contest. You're not going to get a better look than Homeyer just got, and stoned by Kern, who's been brilliant.
Mids use the speed of terrain in the clearing game here. The 14-13 mark and a 3-2 lead. Christian Daniel had 2 first quarter goals, plays it back to DeLira. Now Wade, near side Daniel. Behind the goal for Cole. Terrain will dodge from up top. Trying to get by Homeyer to the wing Daniel. Back up top, crank shot, Wade McSorley makes the save on that. And starts to clear to his right.
You know, McSorley's had some big games this season. I mentioned he had 20 saves his last game against Holy Cross. He's got some very good numbers. He's going to be a tough guy to beat from the outside.
Cates gets it across in plenty of time. Doxey, he'll back up now. Give it to Cates. And now Gray. Gray matched up against Durden. As we mentioned, Durden's been playing the last couple of weeks, but a pretty tough shoulder injury. Gray left open, goes down low, drops down just below the shoulder, bounces it past Kern. We've got a tie game at the 13:07 mark, and Joe, just too much time and room for one of the game's most dangerous players.
Yeah, fantastic goal scorer, and he steps into one wide open. You just can't have that defense between, even though you're shooting from 14 yards out, if you're Andrew McKenna, you have to close that down quicker. And Gray cannot be allowed to shoot with that much distance in between shooter and defender.
You had 3 guys on Cates. Leaves Gray wide open. Gray now with a goal and an assist. It's his 42nd goal of the year. 73rd overall, just a sophomore.
He has 13 straight games with 5 or more points. That's pretty remarkable.
Ground ball here to the near side, picked up by the mids. The pass going far side. Cole will get it after Jimmy Rubino won the ground ball.
Nice job there by Nick Cole. The body out his defender. He started it about 8 yards away and sort of maintained that position throughout. Pretty impressive.
Efficient shooting by both teams. BU with 10 of their 14 shots on goal. Navy with 12 of its 16 on frame.
Well, if you're BU, you've got to love the looks that you've gotten so far. I mean, Kern has played well.
Foster moves it for Daniel. 10-yard crank goes wide. Cole backing it up for Navy. They'll say McSorley got a piece as they reset the shot clock. Cole fakes the pass, now throws it for Fratt. Got a broken stick down at the top of the box. Foster, right side. Burgoyne, back to Foster for Daniel. Nice pass, Fratt, kick, save, McSorley. And they're going to say Fratt ended up in the crease. What a save by McSorley.
Well, McSorley, I don't know if I've ever seen a keeper 11:50 to go in the second quarter in double-digit saves already. He's got 11 in this contest, and I mentioned, we talked about Boston last week, that I think he won't be awarded either first or second team Patriot League goalkeeper of the year, but I think he's right up there with the upper echelon of the goalkeepers in this league.
with a successful clear. Cates to 15 yards. Quick movement here by BU. Burr shoots it wide. And again, another fantastic look from a great spot 4 yards in front of the crease.
I think if Burr holds on to that, Pete, it gets a better look. So the defender was a little bit late getting there, and he was able to get around him quickly. If he takes one more step, he's clear and free towards the cage. This BU team shares the ball so well. I mean, it starts with Gray.
Cates tries to go to the far corner down low, misses wide. Well, when your best player is your most unselfish player, certainly helps promote great offense. That one hits the crossbar off the shot by Nugent. Ground ball behind the goal. Picked up by BU's Lay. Here's Gray. Ducks inside to 8 yards, and the shot goes wide. Another gorgeous look for BU, but the shot off target.
Well, that time Gray got inside the defender with that fake, but still could not put it on target.
Here's Burr to a left hand, shoots and scores. High-to-high shot by James Burr. And he gives BU a 4-3 lead at the 10:36 mark with his second of the day.
48th of the season for James Burr. And we talked about the ball movement for BU. They're one of the best in the country sharing the ball when you look at the assist numbers. But this is Burr just one-on-one. To his left, an overpowering Kern, stick side high. With that shot in the upper corner. I think it might have caught Kern a little bit off guard there.
You mentioned second in the country coming in with a mark of 46 goals, has 2 to his credit now for 48 on the year. Berry wins it out the front door, sweeps it backwards here. Unsuspecting, but picked up by Colin Meehan for the Mids. I think Meehan thought Berry was going to keep going out the front door, and he swept it back. Here's Daniel. Gets it back. His stick got hit as he shot that. It ends up over by the Southern France side.
Now the Mids only had 5 guys out there. Terrain now on the field when Daniel took that shot. Lucky it went to that Southern France side, Pete.
Delira now to Terrain. Daniel. Grayson at 15 yards. To Daniel at 14. That shot well wide and backed up by the Mids. 4-3 BU. We've seen Navy Joe get up to these kind of starts in the first quarter and then go stagnant for a while, and they're trying to avoid that kind of drought here. Delira moves it for Terrain. Now Daniel. BU really clogging up the middle. The Mids love to get it inside to Sweeney, and Daniel scored one earlier there. Here's a shot. Terrain, low to high. Rebound picked up out of the air. Put off the cross, or the pipe rather, by Daniel. Swept here to the near side. Mids with a great ride. Get the ball loose. Daniel behind the back with a pass. Trying to get it to Cole. We got a flag down here. It's going to go against Boston University.
Well, nice hard work by the Mids. Get to that loose ball multiple times. And a loose ball hold. Or excuse me, hold with possession, excuse me. It's going to be called here. 30-second EMO, it looks like. Upcoming for the Mids. Thought at first it might be
interference. It is interference, yeah.
It's not, so he will stay on the field.
Yep. We got our crowd mic. We'll get that turned up so we can hear the calls. But it is interference. Goes against Reese Eddy. Mids double teamed him nicely on the near side to get that ball away. Sweeney right down the middle. High to high, and McSorley sees it all the way.
Well, they shot it quicker than I could get out my stat. The Navy's EMO is just 2 for 13 in the last 4 games. It has not been good.
Here's Gray with a head of steam. Gets it away, shot. Homeyer bounces it home. And just like that, BU scores a man-down goal. 5-3 is Chris Gray again doing the feeding. Homeyer bouncing it home. for his second of the day.
Well, we've been critical of this EMO for the mids this season because they sometimes tend to hold on to the ball too much. This time they take a quick shot. It leads to, off the McSorley save, to a fast break and a rarity in the college lacrosse world, a man-down goal for the Boston University Terriers that put them up by 2 here in the second quarter.
Rick Soul puts play on pause with a timeout. We'll take it with him. 8:50 to go, second quarter here in Annapolis. BU 5, Navy 3. 5-3, Boston University here off the man-down goal by Homeyer, his second of the game for BU. They've scored 3 goals here in the second period to take the lead. Congratulations to Navy's track and field team. The men's shuttle hurdle relay team winning at the Penn Relays today. It was Navy's first Penn Relays championship in 73 years. Also, the Navy track and field men's 4x400 meter relay team breaking the school record that was previously set in 1979. The Penn Relays, the most prestigious track meet in America outside of an Olympics. Mids down by 2 now after having a 3-2 lead. And Joe, this is the same pattern we've seen. Mids start out, get 2 or 3 in that first quarter, and then Drought City hits, and they're in the process here with the drizzle coming down again.
Yeah, they got to figure some things out offensively. They've done some good things here, but I think they were a little quick on the trigger on that shot. They still have 6 seconds on this extra man if they want to hurry it. They had a 3-on-2 advantage on the faceoff.
Barry swept it out to Terrain, who's unguarded on the wing. Wade drops the ball momentarily, gets it back now.
Look, I think they've moved the ball pretty well on offense.
Cole up top, crank shot. Foster from 14 yards away gets one back for the mids. It's BU 5 and Navy 4.
Now just what the mids needed. Michael Foster back to that first midfield unit coming off that extra man opportunity. He was out there still with that extra man, and Daniel able to find him. We'll check that. Nick Cole able to find him. Good looking shot too, and you don't expect McSorley to give up too many from that range.
Well, several of his 12 saves in this game have come on shots just like that. Got to change the plane though. You talk about that all the time, Joe. That time they did. High to low crank shot. Foster with his 11th of the season for the midshipmen.
And that's what Foster likes to do. We've seen him a ton this year. He likes to go high to low, off hip, and Foster buries that one past McSorley.
Navy's won 6 of the 10 faceoffs so far. We're going to get a holding violation here against Navy. It'll give it to BU. Jama will take it to the right side. Matched up here with Tim Griffin. Hilburn. Jama right side against Griffin. Makes the run below the restraining line. In front, Hilburn still keeps it. Kern makes the save. It's coming out of his crease. Rebound, Gray behind the back pass. Collected by Jama. He'll fire the left-hand shot. Goes wide. Navy ball on the back up by Kern.
Jama did do Hilburn any favors there with that initial pass into a double team. Hilburn still got the shot off. Kern made the save. Jama got it back and shot it wide.
Griffin gets it to Alexander. Brad carries it across to Ian Burgoyne. Successful clear. Boy, watching each coaching staff, Rob Camposa for the mids, trying to conduct that shuttle through the box on plays just like that. Trying to get people in and off the field. Foster back to Burgoyne. Ian wearing the prestigious number 40 for the final time here at the stadium today in honor of Brendan Looney. He'll take the crank shot here. That goes wide. Backed up by Navy with 37 on the shot clock. Daniel near side. Trying to force the issue, gets through the gauntlet, and then gets stood up. Terrific defensive play by Michael Doxey by just simply being in the right position. Didn't have to do anything extraordinary as the heavy rain starts to pick up here again in Annapolis. We were delayed an hour and 40 minutes as a result of lightning and a tornado watch in the area. The original start time. Burr comes around, throws it well wide. Couldn't get his shoulders turned. Backed up by BU as Doxey will put it back in play. Referee telling him to go to the far side. Gray out on the wing. Jogs below goal line now. Takes it back to X. Lays it back up top. Laviano. Through Homeyer. Homeyer 10 yards out. Heads for the left alleyway. Stutter stepping against terrain. Nice cut inside. Shot over the crossbar with 25 on the shot clock. Homeyer on the restart. Terrain picks him up out of the corner. Homeyer high stepping. Plants the foot, comes back near side, wrap around, shoots and scores. Homeyer just kept working harder and just exercised terrain for a long time here. Tough shot going away from the goal, and he makes it 6-4. BU, he has the hat trick.
Yeah, used his speed to get past terrain here and get the shot off and scored. You won't see terrain being matched speed for speed very often, but Homeyer able to go right, go left, come back to his right, and get the goal past Grayson Terrain, and BU back in top 6-4.
Homeyer with his 18th of the season. The senior out of Huntington, New York.
Well, this is the fourth team Navy has played this season that is in the top 20 of scoring offense. At BU just under 13 goals per game at 12.79. In those previous 4 games against top 20 scoring teams, Navy has given up 17.2 goals per game. So they have not fared well against the upper echelon offensive teams in the country.
Both teams coming in. Back up face off men there. Mids winning with Meehan off the wing.
Coming in.
Mids run Burgoyne in from behind. Wade up top. Daniel keeps it moving. Behind the goal for Cole. Starting right, comes left, now back right. Shadowed by Carson. Now they bring it out near side. Carson comes with him. Foster behind the goal to Cole. 30 on the shot clock for the Mids. Spacing not exactly exemplary here for Navy. Wade trying to get something going right alleyway. Backside, long range shot off the pipe by Foster. And it's going to be BU ball.
Well, everything packed in, so they're restricted to those outside shots right now. I mean, that's what they can get. You know, watching Sweeney patrol the inside, I mean, they're not allowing him any space inside. I don't know if he's touched the ball once on offense today.
I believe Daniel in that initial shot early, Joe, they had him and Sweeney right behind each other. I believe that's the only interior opportunity to your point. Cates, roll dodge is here. Trying to get away from Evans. Passes behind the goal, and it's intercepted by Mandish. Jake's got it going up the left side for Griffin. Timmy, middle of the field. Defenders closing in, gets it away. Sweeney shoots and scores. He got one there, and the Mids trim the lead to 1. It's BU 6, Navy 5.
Well, anytime Navy has a chance today, they have to run against this BU team, and I think if they have some opportunities, they're going to have some success on the move. Jack Sweeney making that catch on the move and firing it past McSorley. If they get a chance to run, they got to try to run today and exploit those opportunities. And I think if they get some of those opportunities, they will have a chance to score some goals in transition.
13th of the year for Sweeney. Timmy Griffin with his second assist. Time out on the field. BU calls time. 3:49 to go second quarter here at Annapolis. 6-5 BU on Stadium. Joey talked about the Terriers' ability to help each other. One of the top assist teams in the nation with 126. Navy today with 5 assists on all 5 of its goals here this afternoon.
Yeah, a couple have been spectacular. Cole's assist on Daniels' goal earlier was fantastic, and there you get a chance to run in transition. Also, I think, make BU wary that these turnovers, they've got 7 of them at this point. Navy's got 5. And cause some damage with some of those turnovers.
Your namesake, Joe Miller for the Mids on the faceoff. Comes out the front door, beats Snyder soundly, but he can't scoop up the ground ball. Twice he had a chance and could not get it for the Mids.
Not only did he have a chance twice, but it was a clean chance as well with no defender on him.
Gray, good job by Mandish to close out on him and force him to retreat to the restraining line. Holmeyer, who's got 3 goals already here in this first half. BU's outscored Navy 4-2 here in the second for a 6-5 lead.
It's got to be tough for Miller, who does his job, but you really don't complete your job until you pick that ground ball up. Having a word with Ryan Wellner as he came to the sideline.
Well, you get Cates bounces off Griffin. I think you get so excited because you got open space in front of you. Holmeyer takes his eye off the ball, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Turnover to Navy, the 8th turnover for Boston University. Miller had so much space, though, Joe, in front of him. I think he just got so excited about the opportunity to maybe start in transition, just never focused in on the ball. Terrain, look at it, one-man clear. Grayson into the box. Gets it knocked away. BU has it on the turnover. Burr quickly coming the other way. Good hustle here by Wade to get back in front of him and stop the ball.
Well, you like the ambition by Terrain, but it's really tough to go through 5 different guys, and I think it was Doxey that finally knocked it free.
Here's a high-to-high shot by Timmy Lay. 7-5, BU at 2:26.
Well, Lay popping off the crease, and he's sort of their X factor. You know, Burr and Gray are going to get their points and get their goals, but Lay, who had a career-high 5 goals 2 times this year against Dartmouth and Loyola, he was big in that Loyola game. As Griffin tried to come over, he just goes high-to-high in close range against Ryan Kern, and BU back in front by 2.
It's been a great month, Joe, for Boston University overall. Beating Army 15-13, Loyola 18-11, Holy Cross 15-11, and playing some of the best lacrosse in this country right now. You beat a team like Loyola 18-11, that's a sound trouncing of a very good team.
And they were very impressive in that game. They came out and took that game over early. Kevin Snyder wins the faceoff for BU. Offensively, they've played as well as anybody over the last month of the season.
Mids with a chance to scoop up another turnover. Alexander got it knocked away. Mandish, though, reaching down. He had it knocked out. Lob ahead for Burr. Kern comes out, crushes Burr, and Kern gets the ground ball for the Mids. He's under attack. Got it back, got it knocked away again. Trying to sweep it back in and can't. It's out of bounds. Quick restart. Navy calls timeout on the dead ball because Kern was out of the goal. It's a smart call by Rick Soule there.
BU coaching staff not happy with the no call on Burr.
And yeah, he didn't have the ball.
Burr kind of laid on the ground, and as soon as he saw Kern lose the ball, he popped up and got onto his feet. That was pretty funny.
James Burr, who, of course, passed Cal Dirth for the all-time scoring lead on April the 13th. And so far with 2 goals in the game and 184 points. But I hate to tell him, Mr. Cray's probably going to break his mark sometime next year. Take a look at the play again as Burr was headed for an unsettled opportunity here. Didn't get the ball, and then Kern with a shot in the shoulder. Lay goes to ride Kern here, knocked it away once, knocks it away again. Good job there by Timmy Lay on the ride for BU to keep possession for the Terriers.
And I don't think the hit was high. I don't think there was anything
shoulder.
Illegal. It could have been called
shoulder.
A loose ball push if you wanted to call it. And maybe that's what BU was arguing in that situation.
James Burr now has found a goal in 32 consecutive games for Boston University. And really part of a group here for Ryan Poley that have raised the profile of this BU program.
Well, you mentioned, the way they play of late. I was looking back over their history, and they, coming into the Patriot League tournament, this could be history for them, making it 3 straight meetings. But both in 2015 and 2016, they started the Patriot League campaign out 3-1, and then they lost 4 straight to end the season. They had, in both those years, win or get in games against Holy Cross, which they lost. So it's been actually the opposite of what we saw in the past. They're actually hitting the stride at the right time, as opposed to where they've been in their earlier stages in the Patriot League, where they got off to a good start and just finished to fail to complete the job.
Turnover number 10 by BU, as Gray overshot Hilburn, who was making a cut on the crease. Mid's trying to get it out here. Alexander weaves through the traffic of red shirts.
And that's
red doesn't necessarily mean stop here for Brad Alexander.
You look at the turnovers, 10 already, 18.9 per game. And it really has been turnovers because of the pace they played. It's just been some simple mistakes they've made today.
Just 3 caused turnovers by Navy, so that would be 7 unforced errors against the Terriers. Terrain to the near side. Set away for Wade. Cole from behind the goal. Fakes the pass. Side of the crease, weaving through the double team. Trying to bounce it past McSorley. Wade is there. It'll roll out of bounds. Navy will keep it on the Sweeney effort. Terrain from straight on against the shorty. Ball got deflected en route, never got to the crease. Backed up by Christian Daniel. 14 on the shot clock for the midshipmen. Referee telling Daniel to come back closer to where it went out of bounds. Terrain, far side Wade. Wade swims past the defender, switches hands, and flicks it on goal, and he scores.
Really nice shot by Ryan Wade on a tough angle, as you mentioned. Switching over to that left hand, he kept it high to high and beats McSorley. With the shot clock running out, swim move to his left. Ryan Wade, quick trigger with the shot. McSorley would like to have that one back.
Sensational play by Wade, who owns the 10th longest scoring streak with a goal or an assist, now in 37 straight contests. We've seen him be much more of a proficient shooter this year, and that was very, very good there, switching from right to left hand on the swim move. Barry had a chance to get it, couldn't sweep it. Here comes Homeyer for BU with 11 seconds. Homeyer against Terrain, left-hand shot, high to high. It's going to be backed up by BU with 7.7 seconds to go. McKenna really needs to tie up Gray here. Terrain, beautiful switch defensively. They bounce it behind the goal. Homeyer in front. Oh, Burr was there. If he catches it, it's a goal, but it goes off his stick, and they'll go to the half here in Annapolis. Very entertaining first half on the Patriot League's final day of the season. So much on the line in terms of Patriot League tournament seeding potentially here for both teams. And through 30 minutes of play, BU leads it by a score of 7-6. We'll come back with our halftime news and notes in a moment on Stadium. There you go. Snyder and Barry for the draw. Snyder winning the clamp. Gets it back. And the Terriers have the first possession as Resetti picks up the ground ball.
The only thing we knew for sure coming into today was that Colgate and Lafayette will not be in the Patriot League tournament. After that, all 6 spots were up for grabs.
Congratulations to the Navy women's tennis team, sweeping Colgate 4-love today to advance to the semifinals tomorrow against Army. They played that, had to move it indoors up in South Williamsport, just north of Bucknell University in Lewisburg on Route 15. Cates dodging with Terrain here behind the goal. Tries to run him out front, falling away. Kern with the big head of the cross out there and makes the save for the Mids.
A good start for the second half for Ryan Kern. It's been interesting As Durden loses that ball as he was turned around at midfield, and the mids turn it right back to BU.
Guess who? Chris Gray. Now he catches the long pass here. So we've seen teams ride more aggressively with their midfielders and attackmen this year with that shot clock, because you can get that turnover at 60 seconds. And that time, Gray riding Durden got knocked out of his stick.
The one thing BU has done as well today, when anytime they've been matched up with Grayson Terrain one-on-one, they've tried to take him defensively. Cates did it last time. Homeyer did it earlier.
Cates from 12, and Kern sees it all the way. Wanted to circle behind the goal. Gray was ready to ambush him. So Ryan circled but stayed in his crease.
Maybe a little bit of a force shot that by Cates. It wasn't late in the shot clock, didn't need to shoot it there.
Kern, the goal was out as Boston University had the 10-man ride. Kern wanted to shoot toward it. Now they turn it back over on the clear.
For Kern, he had Foster. I don't know if that's who he's trying to get it to. He kind of just threw it to the middle of the offensive box. Works out in the end as the mids get it back from BU as both teams struggling to clear the ball.
7-6, third quarter.
BU
on
two
top.
on clears in the third quarter, but they get the ball here.
Foster behind the goal to Cole. Wade draws the slide. Back up top for Terrain, right point. Beats his man. Can't get a shot away. Bad angle. Foster with a nice catch at his knee. Wade keeps it moving for Daniel. His shot! Dropping down. Sidewinder to the far corner, down low. We're tied at 7.
That gets McSorley moving here, and Daniel with a nice shot down low as the mids working around the perimeter here and get the tie and goal to get us even at 7. Daniel steps right into that one. And he had some room to operate on the far side wing as BU a little slow to recognize there, and Daniel takes advantage of it.
Third goal of the day for Christian, 29th of the season. Joe, this is by far the best ball movement we've seen from Navy offensively in quite some time.
Yeah, they did some good things last week at Syracuse, against Syracuse in the first half, but it seemed like after that first quarter, Syracuse really shut them down the rest of the way. We've seen it in spurts, but it's been a little bit more consistent here this evening.
All 7 goals assisted by the mids. Barry wins the face-off, gets it to Durden. Jeff tried to shoot it, but got his stick hit as he went to shoot it. McSorley with an easy save there.
Yeah, I think
again,
he's trying
Jeff with limited mobility in that shoulder, probably not necessarily the guy hoping to get the ball in that situation.
I don't know if he was taking that shot. He was trying to maneuver around as it was knocked out by fellow number 25, Nicholas Ellerton. And it kind of just went on target, and McSorley able to gobble it up.
So the mids miss an opportunity after scoring and winning the face-off to try and play make it take it. Laviano lost by Burr. He'll get it back though, far side against Alexander. Burr trying to get above the goal line, beautiful pass. Kern stones lay right on the crease. Franchik here on the near side with a ground ball. Lobs it back toward the crease and finds Kern. Oh, Ryan Kern, have a day.
What a save. Just sprawling to his left to cover up the cage and lay. Can't believe he didn't score there.
Second time we've seen him stop somebody right on the crease, 1v1. Terrain across the box, finds room at 15 yards. Good slide quickly there though by Eddie. Wade cross box at his feet, picks it up. Gets it back to Terrain. McSorley 13 saves, Kern now with 12. They have been the stories in this game. Wade, good play. The far side defensively there by Eddie. Wade able to get it back with 20 on the shot clock. Terrain near side for Foster. Back up top, Terrain, Grayson from 15. Ooh, hit the back of the leg of one of the defenders. Did not get through to McSorley until after it hit the defender, the back of the calf, Will Carson. Here comes BU the other way, and transition opportunity. Here's Lay. He'll shoot from a tough angle, and it goes wide, backed up by BU.
Yeah, it looked like their spacing was a little bit off on that fast break because Lay got it. He really, when he went to shoot, didn't have much of an angle. He kind of forced it the second time around. BU had it on the backup. That's a tough angle for Lay to make a living from right there.
9.5 to go here in the third. We're tied at 7. Jama down the left alleyway. Bounce shot goes wide. Stays with the Terriers on the backup with 42 on the shot clock. Gray working against Mandish. He slips down on the wet turf. Backside throws it over the head of Jama. That is the 4th turnover for Chris Gray today.
Yeah, it's the one sort of issue when you look at his numbers coming into today. He had 44 turnovers. Last week against Holy Cross, the first game, he didn't have a turnover. He's averaging 3.1 per game this season.
You can see a lot of it for a playmaker, Joe, just and very ambitious passes and just poor execution.
Talking about BU coming out strong in this third quarter. That has not been the case. Nearly halfway through this third quarter, they have yet to score.
Speed dodge behind the goal. Shot goes wide. It's going to go out of bounds, backed up by the mids with Daniel. Christian on the move. In front. Shot. Score. Jack Sweeney from Christian Daniel.
Now, second goal for Jack Sweeney this afternoon, and Daniel with the assist. Early on, we were talking Sweeney getting much space inside. There really wasn't a lot of space there, but Ellerton had his back turned to the play. Sweeney aware of that, and Daniel probably the most important person to be aware of that one. Fires it in there to Sweeney, who scores the goal. You know, I was talking about the third quarter numbers for BU this year. They have outscored their opponents 50-27 in the third quarter this year. Right now, Navy outscoring BU in the third quarter 2-0 and lead at 8-7.
Mids win the face-off with Barry in a hurry to get rid of it. They do get the ground ball. Cole, triple team, flips to Durden. Jeff in no man's land somehow comes out of there with it as they chop at him, and he gets it to Brad Alexander. Burgoyne, 2 defenders trailing him. He'll pull it back out and find DeLira. 4-point game for Christian Daniel. Had 4 goals against Army. High point this year, 7 points against Bucknell with 4 and 3. Eight, 7, mids on top.
BU extending that zone out. Usually you see teams pack it in.
Here comes a rip and a shot and a goal. It's Christian Daniel again. His 4th of the day. At 7:31, makes it 9-7 Navy.
Now sometimes it's just an unstoppable shot. And that stayed high to high, and he just roofs it right underneath the crossbar. McSorley thought he was going to change planes. You could tell by the way he reacted to the shot. It goes right underneath the crossbar. Christian Daniel, 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 points on the afternoon.
The physics major with a 4.0 grade point average has 4 goals here today. Timeout on the field, 7:31 to go. Here in the third, Navy 9, BU 7 on Stadium. Joe, no surprise when Christian Daniel participates, the mids usually have a chance to win. 4 goals in the overtime loss to Army, but in the losses to Loyola, Lehigh, Holy Cross, and Syracuse, just 3 goals combined in those contests. And right now, the sophomore physics major out of Owings, Maryland, helping the mids to a 9-7 lead.
He's been a huge part of the success today. And just a brilliant shot as his last goal as he put it right underneath the crossbar from the wing.
Barry, nicely done out from behind to Durden, who finds Kern in the defensive end to start to clear for the mids.
Navy who has captured the momentum in this third quarter.
Mandish throws it basically to me and you as he throws it way over the head, intended for Foster.
Ninth turnover by the Mids, and just as I say, they're capturing the momentum. Turnovers can kill that momentum.
Lay. Kern says, no, sir. I'll keep the momentum on my team's side. I don't know if that was going in. It may have gone wide of the post. He short hops Cole. Cole trapped over here on the sideline. They pushed him out of bounds.
Timmy Lay has taken two really tough angle shots in his last two shots, and he tried to go far post on the near wing. I'm with you. I don't think that was going in, but Kern able to gobble it up, and Timmy Lay now has 6 shots in the contest, and the last 3 have been really low percentage looks for the freshman.
Gray cutting across the box. Griffin comes to try and stop the ball for the Mids. Works nicely over top of the pick. Homeyer, who's got 3 for the Terriers today, backs up here against Mandish. Chases him 10 yards outside the box. Gray against the shorty. Griffin far side. Kern makes the stop there on the tough angle shot. Dive, Navy ball.
Ryan Kern pumped up, making his 14th save of the afternoon, and Chase Levesque, the long pole, he was out there with still 35 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Interesting decision there by BU.
Great hustle by Nick Franchik that time to get the ground ball for the Mids, who have to get it over. They're running out of time. They'll get there. Alexander at the right point. Gives it up for Foster. Cole. Sweeney will back it out here. Mids up 9-7, 5:34 to go, and with their season spiraling in an opposite direction after an overtime loss to Army and a loss to Syracuse, the Mids have responded here today. Their season on the line, needing a win, a combination of a couple of other things to help them get in. Cole wrap around. McSorley got a piece. It almost trickled to the line, but McSorley reaches behind him to get it before it goes across that white line to keep it a 9-7 game with 5 minutes to go in the third.
Well, McSorley, who was so good in the first quarter, 11 saves, early stages of the second quarter for him. He needed that save because Navy had found the net. It's been a while since he had made a save, and he was able to find it after he made that initial stop.
Great far side against McKenna.
Navy is in with a win and either a Bucknell or Holy Cross loss. Bucknell hosts Colgate. Holy Cross hosts Lehigh this evening.
Of course,
Just
Bucknell
underway.
putting themselves in position with a big win at Lehigh last week. Had Lehigh won that game, this would be a win and in situation for Navy. Homeyer with a nice catch there. Back to the point for Cates. Cates wants to shoot, can't get free. Franchik there. Burr bounces one well wide of the cage. Much better defending by the Mids here in this third quarter. The quality of the shots from BU not the same here in the third as they were in the first half, Joe.
Yeah, it's really a drastic difference. BU had a ton of goal-scoring chances early. They've forced some shots of late. 3 on the shot clock.
Hilburn with a wraparound, and he puts it home. First goal of the quarter by BU to pull within 9-8 with 3:52 to go in the third.
Well, shot clock running out, and Hilburn, who's had some chances today, but hasn't been able to stick one in, just gets a step on the defender and able to get past John Salcido there. Nothing too complex there. He faked to his left, Salcido went with him, and Hilburn beat him with pace to his right and just got around him and turned into a one-on-one against Kern, and Hilburn gets a huge goal. He's had a frustrating afternoon. He's had 2 really good chances from up close. He's not been able to score either of them, and he got buried on a couple of them as well.
Hold called there against Snyder. Gives it to Navy here. So big play there so the Mids can try and regather the momentum after Hilburn scored his 5th of the year. Chris Gray with his 56th assist. Cole Sweeney fell down, now back up to get the ball. Terrain against the shorty, cutting across the box. Feeds Wade. Inside. Oh, Daniel with a backhander to tie his career high. 5th of the day. An improbable goal by Christian Daniel, falling down with a backhander to beat McSorley. It's 10-8.
Well, this is one of those goals you try to figure out how it happened. And Daniel, just with his strength inside, forcing that one, willing that one in past McSorley, who had to be surprised that he took that shot in that spot. Christian Daniel
scored 5 goals against UMBC earlier this year.
You know, it's interesting. Snyder, this is his 11th faceoff taken. Chrisman's taken 10. Simply, 50% between those two guys coming in. Chrisman had taken 78% of the faceoffs. So Snyder doing as much faceoff work as he's pretty much done all season here this afternoon.
Barry actually scooped the ball out, but the ground ball won by Boston University. 10-8 Navy on Christian Daniels, 5th of the day, 31st of the year.
Kind of thought that Navy would have to get to 14, 15 goals today to win this game. The way BU's been playing on offense of late.
Yep.
At 10 right now.
Told Navy AD Chet Gladchuk before the game, Mids would have to get to 10 or 11 at minimum. Here's Burr. He hit the crossbar, and Ryan Kearns got the rebound. Another unlucky break there for BU. They get inside, but Burr hit the crossbar, and it went straight down.
You can see the frustration after Barr took that shot. And just shaking his head as he walked away. Mids get lucky because Christian Daniel threw a pass to Nick Cole in a lot of traffic, and somehow he was able to maneuver out of it.
I don't know how they do it sometimes. In the old days, you very rarely see a call for a stick check anymore. In the old days, you see a guy make a play like that, you'd see a coach call for a stick check in a hurry. Wade carries behind to Daniel. Christian's been the star of the day for the Mids. Up to Terrain, and now Foster. Foster, left alleyway, switches to the right hand. Cross box for Terrain. Grayson inside. Cole waits and scores. The question was, when and how was Nick Cole going to shoot the ball? Joe, plenty of time once he caught it on the crease, and Cole puts it home for his 2nd of the day and a 3-goal lead for Navy.
Now, tremendous patience as Cole able to hold on to the ball, give a couple stick fakes to McSorley. And Cole, who usually patrols back towards the end line, snuck back. BU doesn't see him as he sneaks back to the crease, and Grayson Terrain heads up play, finds Cole on the doorstep, picks up the assist. Great patience shown there by the freshman Nick Cole.
3rd assist of the day for Grayson Terrain. 19th goal for Nick Cole. Barry has the ground ball for the Mids. Snyder applies pressure, finds Jimmy Rubino. Alexander with it, switches hands, gets it to Rubino, the long pole. Jimmy into the box, gets it away to Cole. His shot got deflected off a defender, and it'll go out of bounds to Navy. 11-8 Navy with 1:12 to go. 3rd quarter. Delira with Fratt and Burgoyne for the 2nd midfield here.
Coming into this 3rd quarter, Navy had only had 2 5-goal, as Fratt takes the shot, saved made by McSorley. 2 5-goal quarters in Patriot League play this season. Scored more than 5 against Lafayette. Scored 7 against Colgate. And here they've got 5 against BU.
They try to get it out of Cates, and they do. Durden knocked it away. Ball free, Delira. Bounces off of a man. Rolls across midfield. Great ride by the mids. Sweeney inside. Burgoyne shoots off balance. Backed up by Navy.
Plenty of time to get a good look here for Nick Cole.
15 seconds remaining. Cole, DeLira. Inside Sweeney. Backhander blocked in front. Never got through. Eddie with the pickup. He'll toss it out to the side. It'll go out of bounds with 0.7 of a second to go here in the third quarter. Burgoyne will pick it up. Referee tells him to back up. He'll shoot it with a whistle sounding, and McSorley makes the catch. End of 3 quarters here in Annapolis. Navy answers BU's 5 goals in the second quarter with 5 of their own here in the third. 15 more minutes to go. Navy 11, BU 8 on Stadium. 15 more minutes to go here at Annapolis. 5-7, Navy leading 10-4. Boston University 11-8. Bucknell Colgate, a great game of interest to the Navy midshipmen. Colgate in a 1-1 tie with the Bison in Lewisburg in the first quarter with 9:52 to go. Joe, what's been good for Navy through 3 quarters to get a lead?
Well, you look at a couple different things. I think important in that third quarter, Navy won 5 of 7 faceoffs. We've seen mainly Snyder, not the #1 guy, Chrisman today facing off. And again, turnovers, BU with 14 came in, averaging just under 19 a game, which was number 61 in the country. Mids also out shooting BU 42-37 through 3 quarters of play. And something I mentioned at halftime that is crucial in this game, 0 penalties taken by the Mids, 0 extra man opportunities for Boston. And I think it's a key part of what we've seen today. BU has not been able to get on the extra man. It's been an issue for Navy defending the extra man. And so far, so good for the Mids, not taking any dumb penalties and allowing BU to get some easy offense on that extra man unit.
Violation on the face-off against BU, and the Mids have it now with a 3-goal lead. And again, Rick Soll wants his team to have a little more urgency moving the ball here, as you can tell by his reaction on the sideline. Nick Berry now 12 of 20 on the day on face-offs for the Mids. You mentioned Snyder, 6 of 13 now for BU. Chrisman was 4 of 10.
Don't see any injury. Chrisman's down on the field, beautiful run and everything, and he's taken 79% of their face-offs this season, but Snyder taking the majority so far tonight.
Daniel low to high, went for a half dozen. They're going to say the keeper got a piece of it, or do they incorrectly reset it? Yeah, they incorrectly reset it. Every BU coach in uniform down there. Ryan Poley, Mike Silipo, Max Silberlicht. Volunteer assistant Judd Lattimore all running out in the field. 15 on the clock. Here's Wade. Back to Terrain. It's got to go here. Down to 6. Terrain. Somebody's got to shoot. Great play defensively by BU, and it's going to cause a turnover.
It's first shot clock violation of the contest.
I think BU started that too early. They're going to make him back it up. Levesque never stopped, kept going with the ball. .13:33 to go here in the fourth.
You always have these spots in the lacrosse game, Pete, when you talk about next goal, so huge. You look in this fourth quarter, 13:33 to go. Navy's up by 3, BU's down by 3. Next goal in this game is going to be ginormous.
Is that a cousin of enormous? Here's Homeyer. He's got 3 today for the Terriers. They have a lot to play for. They could be a 2 seed and with a major upset a 1, but with a decent shot to be a 2 if they win. And Holy Cross, who's played some of its best Patriot League lacrosse ever, but again, pass behind. They're going to run it down in the corner with Cates. Bucknell Colgate tied at 2 in the first. Cates off the wing. Behind the goal. Gray went left, comes in right, goes for the inside roll, double team, and we're going to get a timeout called by BU as Ryan Poley sensed His man was in trouble with 12:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. Navy with 5 third-period goals to take an 11-8 lead here, Joe, with 12:47 to go here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you look at the opportunities for BU, I would say from that 10-minute mark on in that third quarter, Pete, towards this fourth quarter, you look at the opportunities, they've really forced a lot of chances today in this second half. We talked about coming in about their ball movement, how successful they've been on offense here recently. They put up some tremendous numbers. And today it's been a little bit off, and they've forced some things here in this third quarter. And now you got 12:47. You use one of your timeouts. Here we go in the fourth quarter. It's a big possession. The shot clock, because of that introduction in the college lacrosse world, it certainly has changed the flow of games. But still, you fall behind by 3 or 4 goals in the fourth quarter, you're still fighting against the tide a little bit, even with the shot clock. So I think there's a big possession here coming out of this timeout. They used a timeout in the first half to call at an end of possession situation, and they turned it over 5 seconds in to that possession after calling the timeout. So we'll see how they do here after the timeout to save this possession and hopefully for them get something constructive going on the offensive side.
14 turnovers by the Terriers today, only 4 of them caused by Navy, so a lot of self-inflicted wounds for the Terriers. Colgate has gone on top 3-2 in Lewisburg in the first quarter. Homeyer coming in on the right side. Gray. McKenna works past the screen. Good catch by Homeyer here on the near side against Alexander. Finds Gray on the move. Backhand shot, and he roofed it. Oh, beautiful play by Chris Gray, and a big goal for BU, as Joe was just talking about. 12:17 to go in the fourth. Navy 11 and BU 9.
Well, you need a goal. You're going to go to the All-American, and what a goal this is. It's the velocity here that he gets on that shot that will get you. Ryan Kern can have no expectation that that ball is going to whiz that fast from that angle of taking that shot. Unbelievable goal by the All-American Chris Gray.
Mr. Gray simply filthy. 43rd of the year. 2 goals, 3 assists now for him this afternoon.
99 points. He set the single season record for most points in a season by a Patriot League player, beating Peter Baum's record of 97 points, the former Colgate Raider.
Barry into the box, wanted to shoot, got it stripped away, headed toward the sideline, and it's picked up on the sideline. Mids have a ride there, but they're going to get McSorley out of the goal to help out. And again, Barry won the ground ball, but just ran into a very ambitious 4 red shirts. And they eventually knock it away and get it right back to the Terriers with 11:46 to go.
I think it was Nicholas Ellerton that knocked it free.
Great check by Franchuk to get it away for the Mids, but they lose it in front. Jama trying to pick it up. Ball still loose, and Tim Griffin has it for the Mids. Lay can't get a wrap check from behind, but the Mids almost throw it away. Good job there by Sweeney to knock it down. If you're the Mids, you want to keep that edge, Joe. You want to keep going to the goal because, as you mentioned, you can't salt this thing away. Terrain will try. Oh! Long-range rocket. Grayson Terrain, the future pilot, finds a home from 13 yards away and gets the goal right back. It's 12-9 Navy.
Well, James Gray, the All-American for BU with the goal. And Navy's All-American. You cannot give Grayson Terrain 7 yards to shoot from as he steps into one. If he gets that on target 80, 90% of the time, that's going to be a goal. Grayson Terrain hasn't seen that much space in front of him in a long time. And he buries that goal to give the Mids back that 3-goal lead.
23rd of the year for Grayson, and now a 4-point day for Terrain. 1 and 3 for the Mids, and more importantly, the lead goes back to 3. Ground ball fought for in the middle of the end. BU comes out of there with it. Snyder able to pick it up. Grayson Terrain with his 83rd career goal, just one behind Jeff Long for 12th all-time on the Navy list.
Now see what Chris Gray and the BU offense has to answer.
Ooh, Homeyer free there, but he threw it well wide of the cage with 10:43 remaining.
Look at Burr and Gray combined today, Pete. 16 shots and 4 goals. That's a pretty nice return for the Mids. You get them to score on a quarter of their shots, you're going to like your chances, and they lead it by 3.
Maybe out shooting BU 44-39. Homeyer keeps it moving, the extra pass. Burr passes behind the goal. Ball knocked down to the pass out front. Goals open. Mids better come up with it. Oh, BU with a chance to shoot at a wide open goal, and they throw it over the top.
And one of the weird times that we've seen Gray kind of just throw the ball towards the middle of the field. I'm not sure who he's trying to get that ball to. He's such a good passer that you give him the benefit of the doubt a lot of times. And then almost there, you had Lay not realizing that a shot was taken, and he almost by default gave Kern the ball because he didn't move, but he did see it the last second and moved a couple of feet towards the end line.
Oh, they had Homeyer briefly in a good spot. Missed him. Burr operating against Mandish. Tough angle shot, well wide, and the backup is BU's ball.
I'm surprised that Burr did not take that shot right away. He actually had some space and room, and he made his angle a little bit more difficult as he moved to his right.
6 on the shot clock, 9:51 to go, fourth quarter. Mids lead at 12-9. Gray quickly passing, shot. Kern turns it aside. Rebound in front, Durden. Over the head pass behind his back to Mandish.
15 saves now for Ryan Kern.
Boy, what a great day for Kern. Your season's on the line. You come up with a huge day in between the pipes for your team. Mids with the ball, 9:25 to go in a 3-goal lead. It's content here now to run some clock at the 9:13 mark. 45 on the shot clock. Keep it moving. Kern, the junior out of Middletown, Delaware, and Salesianum, having a big day here, trying to get these Navy seniors a win in their final home game. Mids keep it moving. Ooh, good tough catch on the far side by Terrain. Up top, Foster throws it behind Wade, who makes a nice catch. Ryan behind the back pass, intercepted. Good play there by Blake Phillips to step in the passing lane. He'll start to clear up the left side. Mids trap him on the sideline. Plays it backwards here. Now to McSorley. They got 10 more to get it across. Nice catch by Eddie with the long pole in the midfield. Under riding pressure from Durden.
We have a whistle. I'm not sure why. They can't call a timeout because they weren't in the restraining box. Is it a penalty on one of the coaches?
We couldn't hear the official what he said, but it's against Navy, whatever it is. They're going to call a slash on Jeff Durden.
Away from the ball. Completely away from the ball.
As you mentioned, Mids had played penalty-free lacrosse so far today. BU had only been called for 1. So just the second penalty in this game.
Number 6 in the country, 47.8% on extra man are the Terriers, and Navy's opponents 12 for 18 on extra man the last 5 games. That's 66%. And another foul is going to be called on the Mids. It looked like, to me, it was Franchuk right along the crease, and maybe they're going to call a penalty. No, it is going to be Franchuk.
And it's a tough call because they had knocked the ball away there.
Interference, I think, is the call on Franchuk. And how about this? BU now with a 2-man advantage for 30 seconds. Of course, if they score under that 30 seconds, the other penalty will continue.
So the Mids now having to defend a 6-on-4.
And this is purely, can your goalie make a big save here?
Yep. Burr back up top for Gray. Inside, Homeyer drops it, ball's free. Mid sweep out it, Mandish still has it, and gets to safety. Lobs ahead, great catch by Evans. Or you could just cause a turnover, Joe.
I don't believe Homeyer was expecting that pass at that situation. I'm surprised BU's not doubling the ball here.
What a big break for the Mids.
To have a two-man advantage and not get a shot off is really inexcusable.
And incredible, really, from this particular extra man unit.
Goal here, and you just will be sky high momentum-wise if you're Navy.
Daniel, top of the box with 35 on the shot clock. Inside shot, score! Ryan Wade puts it home for his second of the day.
Well, they stack the middle with Wade and Sweeney. Both those guys in the middle of your screen, as you see. Wade calling for the ball. BU defender stays on Sweeney, does not go to Ryan Wade, and Wade, an accomplished goal scorer, loves that opportunity to be wide open in the middle of the field, and just a ginormous goal again for the Mids, up by 4.
The great thing is Daniel wasted no time. As Wade came through stick-up, Joe, Daniel saw him immediately, didn't waste any time getting him the ball in there. Christian Daniel with an 8-point day for the midshipmen.
What a change of momentum. You thought with that two-man advantage it was the opening that BU needed to get closer in this game. Instead, the Mids now lead it by 4 and win another faceoff.
Durden with the ground ball, finds McKenna. He has terrain here on the near side. Christian Daniel with a new career high, 8 points in the contest. And the Mids have a 4-goal lead. And Joe, you hit it. Mids are going to have to get up around 14 goals to win this game. They're at 13. Well, what a superior effort here by Ryan Kern and his defense, holding this BU outfit to 9. Daniel dodging behind the goal with Sweeney. Forces it inside. That's a heck of a catch by Sweeney, who had it knocked out eventually. Ball still down. And we're going to get a push on BU. More importantly, Joe, that resets the shot clock to a fresh 80 seconds.
Yeah, every second counts now with your up by 4. And look, the face-off problems that BU has had today, too. Navy's won 15 of the 26. And I'm kind of surprised that BU has gone almost completely away from Chrisman in this contest.
One thing, whether Navy has another game or not this year, the one thing they have done this year, and you got to give Nick Berry as a freshman a lot of credit, they have developed some nice young depth at that position behind him as well.
Now, Chrisman on the season at 59%.
Sweeney's pass, knocked down. Levesque has the ball, throws it back on a bounce as Sweeney was cutting right in front of McSorley. Did a nice job to bring that ball in for the Terriers.
I wonder if it's Chrisman struggling last week against Holy Cross. Holy Cross has one of the best face-off men in the conference, maybe the best face-off man in the conference. He struggled last week, and maybe just a confidence thing for Chrisman today. But you look at the upset that they had against Loyola, Chrisman was as key a part of that as any player that day. He was also huge against Army as well.
Wrap around, Kern again with a big save, hugging the near post.
James Burr denied on the doorstep.
16th save of the day for Ryan Kern. Shots are 45-43 in this game, Joe. It's been an entertaining contest throughout, and the Mids will call timeout. 4:23 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Mids needing a win desperately, lead BU 13-9. We'll come back with the finish in a moment on Stadium. Been a day of weather delays here in the Patriot League. We started an hour and 40 minutes late. Lehigh and Holy Cross are now in a weather delay in Worcester, tied at 1. They are playing in Lewisburg, where the result of that game matters here to Navy. If they can hold on to this 4-goal lead, they could use a Colgate win. That game is tied at 3 as they just start the second quarter there in Lewisburg. Mids could also benefit from a Lehigh win if they beat Holy Cross this evening. Joe, 4:23 to go. This by far, since early in the season, has been one of Navy's best efforts in all facets of the game for 60 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, you talked about the shot total going out of break last break, and you look at Christian Daniel today, 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points on his performance today, 13 shots. And I think the big part of their success today has been the ball movement, and the lack of turnovers within that ball movement has been huge for them today.
BU desperate now, chasing everything. Goalie will be out. Down the middle of the box, extra pass knocked down. Ball's going to come to the near side, though. Navy's going to keep it with 45 seconds. Wade. Eddie working on him. Levesque chasing as they're literally trying to double everything. Wade, goal is open. Wade tried to shoot it. Levesque got a piece of it. And it's going to be BU scooping it up with Ellerton.
I think you see there the face-off issues that BU's had in this game. I mean, to go to double full man out with 4.5 to go is pretty early to do that, but I think they feel like they've got to in this situation.
Homeyer gets it away to Cates. He can't get it, but Gray does inside. Levesque gets it back. Homeyer, extra pass. Lay comes in. Kick, save, Kern. Homeyer is opposite 24, picks it up. Timmy Lay's going to see Ryan Kern in his nightmares. Bad pass for Cates. Goes back to midfield. Great job by Brad Alexander to lift the stick of Ellerton so it would be over and back.
Here we have a call at the opposite end. I don't see a flag down. Certainly an over and back call, as you heard the voice of Rick Soul to the official. I don't see a flag.
No. Scott Miller, Jeff Brusso, and Dan Bennett. Brusso and Bennett we have not seen here. It'll be inadvertent whistle. It'll be Navy ball. Scott Miller, by far the veteran on this crew. The other two relative neophytes in terms of Patriot League officiating.
And how about on a must-have situation for BU on offense, Levesque staying out the entire possession there on offense for BU.
Terrain had it knocked away as he tried to maneuver through the double team. Turnover right back to BU with 3:10 to go.
BU has done their job. When Navy's got the ball the last 2 possessions, they have created turnovers. Get the ball back, but
Mids knock it out. Daniel diving. He got to it. Durden flips it forward to Sweeney. Tell you what, Joe, Jeff Durden could have easily sat out the last 3 games. He has got a upper body injury that most people would be sitting out with, but not Durden.
A great play, though, as well by Christian Daniel. Just smothered the ball with his body.
Inside, they try to throw for Terrain in the Mids, throw it away again. Ellerton coming the other way. Gets the pass away. Homeyer, he'll fire the bouncing shot wide, backed up by Burr, 2:20 to go. Burr, wrap around, and he scores high to high. James Burr with his 3rd of the day on his 14th shot. Navy 13, BU 10 with 2:15 to go.
The Mids have to be killing themselves with those 3 opportunities on offense that all ended in Navy turnovers. James Burr talented goal scorer. You can't keep this BU team down too long. They go back to Snyder to face off here against Nick Berry in a huge face off here.
Third of the day for Burr. Comes at the 2:15 mark. Snyder won the clamp, flips it up to himself. Berry chases. Eddie finds Gray. Gray, left-hand shot, tough angle, foot race on. It's BU ball. Timmy Lay a step ahead of Franchuk there. Nick, whose late father was an All-American for NC State. Late 70s. Burr comes in. Kern gets a piece. Gray's got the rebound. Goal is open. It's intercepted by Griffin. Timmy Griffin with the interception. The ricochet comes out. Shoots and scores. Oh, Tim Griffin made a heck of a play, but then just got accosted in front of the goal. It comes free. Jama puts it home, and it's 13-11 with 1:42 to go.
Oh, wild scramble for the loose ball. And Kern out from his crease. Jama just a fortunate.
Griffin actually knocked it away from Kern. Griffin swept at it as Kern was getting ready to pick it up.
Plenty of time left on the clock.
You knew it wasn't going to be easy.
Yeah.
Nothing has come easy for this Navy team.
Last 3 games between these two teams have been decided by a total of 4 goals. This series has had a lot of close games in between the two.
Berry had the clamp here, terrain at his feet. Snyder's got it, he flips it, can't secure it, steps on it, kicks it. Berry near side, he gets pushed from behind. Referee palms out, no call here. And it's picked up by Snyder. Lobs it high in the air. Eddie's got it. Homeyer. Cross box pass, Gray on the doorstep, Burr, and somehow he missed the frame. He missed the frame completely as Kern was coming out at him.
That either didn't come out of his stick the way he wanted to, or he just tried to place it into the top corner.
Jama, tough shot, Gray, shoots off the side of the goal. Kern picks it up. Kern thought he had been beaten because he looked in the goal first. And with under 45 seconds to go now, the Mids desperate to clear. Knocked out, though, from Alexander. Burr coming the other way with Gray to his right. Drops it off. Oh. Are you going to call time?
Yes.
Wow. Jama's getting ready to crank one up with 35 seconds to go. And Coach Ryan Poley calls a timeout.
So many things have happened here down the stretch between these two teams in this contest. And Navy has not looked the calmest here with the ball late in the contest, but right now you look at the clock, that might be their greatest ally with 35 seconds. You know Boston has to shoot here rather quickly.
Ironically, with faceoffs going against BU, most important time of the game, they win back-to-back faceoffs. Clearing game, Mids get it knocked away as they get across midfield. Now here with the restart, Ryan Poley's club down 2, 35.6 seconds to go here in Annapolis.
And nothing's going to be easy on the final day of the regular season. In this league, there's a lot of parity in this league. And there's not much that separates Team 6 from Team 2.
No, and one of the teams that's not even going to make the tournament just tied up Bucknell 4-4 in the second quarter. 35.6 to go. We've consistently gone over the scenarios throughout the game. A Navy win with a Bucknell loss or a Holy Cross loss sends Navy to a quarterfinal matchup on Tuesday. Burr comes in quickly, shoots, scores!
Well, that was way
and
too
a flag
easy.
After the goal on a hit against Burr.
So it'll be 3v2 on the faceoff, and Burgess beats Durden way too easy off the restart. Goes top corner on a fantastic looking shot by Burr. And we'll see if this is post-possession on the foul.
It's Alexander going to the box.
So 31 seconds to go in this contest. All of a sudden, it's a one-goal game, and BU will have a 3 versus 2 advantage on the faceoff.
It's an illegal body check against Brad Alexander. So not only Navy shorthanded, but one of their better short stick defensive midfielders is in the box.
50th goal, by the way, this season by James Burr.
That's all, just 50.
And what a comeback, down by 4 with 2.5 minutes to go. BU is down by 1 with 31 seconds left.
Important for Nick Berry to try and win this faceoff here for Navy. You know Snyder's trying to go right to the open wing.
You got to cause a stalemate as much as possible here if you're Berry. Just tie him up.
Couldn't. Eddie's got it. Berry comes off. Homeyer drops it off for Gray. Here we go.
BU out of timeouts.
Gray to Burr. Quickly Hilburn. Back to Burr. Up top they overshoot Gray and throw it away. With 6.5 seconds to go. The story of the day. The turnovers by BU. That's their 20th. And the two most talented guys they have throwing it away. Burr overshooting Gray, and Franchuk runs it out, and the Mids secure victory here in Annapolis on the final day of the season. Ryan Kern with 18 saves, Christian Daniel 5 goals and 3 assists, and Navy wins it here today by a score of 13-12. Nothing says more about the parity of lacrosse in this league as Navy winning this game here with their situation coming in. They played poorly in the second half last week against Syracuse. Final score, Navy 13 and BU 12. Joe and I will come back and wrap things up from Annapolis in a moment on Stadium. All right, Joe Miller, the Mids have done their job winning here against Boston University. Now they are big Colgate and Lehigh fans in Lewisburg. Bucknell leads 5-4 second quarter, and they're in a weather delay in Worcester and a 1-1 tie there. Most important part, Ryan Kern, 18 saves. Christian Daniel, 5 goals, 3 assists here this afternoon. Mids win at 13-12. How did they get here?
Well, valiant comeback by BU there at the last couple of minutes, but it almost looked like to me as they climbed the hill to get within 1 goal, they just didn't have enough to get it over the top there. They kind of looked confused in that final possession. I'll give credit to this Navy defense. Look, you knew you were going to have to score some goals today against BU. They were going to come in and score goals. You hold Gray to 2 goals and 3 assists, Burr to 4 goals. That doesn't sound great as they combine for 9 points, but this is a duo that's been averaging about 14 points a game over the last few games. So you hold them in check. The defense gets the result, and of course a big part of that was Ryan Kern with 18 saves. They win the face-off battle, and probably, as we talked about at the end, the most important thing at the end, BU's turnover issues haunted them all game long. They turn it over with 5 seconds left to go. That is the ball game. They finish the game with 20 turnovers, and Navy holds on, takes a deep breath, and survives this contest.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 26 shots between that dynamic duo for BU, just 6 goals on the game. Navy efficient, 27 shots on goal, 46 for the game. BU finishes with 52. But again, face-offs, Navy won 15, BU 14, and the clearing game, a struggle for both teams. BU 22 of 29, Navy 17 of 27. But the Mids go to 6-7 and will now scoreboard watch. They win it here today in Annapolis, 13-12 on Stadium.